Sorry, we got cut off, so I'm still continuing the same chapter. Mr. Today looked up. "Hello, Cimber. Good evening, Florence," he said, the statues nodding stiffly. "There ought to be one more boy coming along presently to be aware of. Probably should need him, all right, Cimber?" The winged cheetah purred in response and fluidly lowered himself on all fours on the pedestal, his huge paws with gleaming claws hanging off the edge within inches of Alex's face. Slowly the boy slid away from the stony beast. "Wow," Lonnie breathed, and the others followed her gaze from the statues to the rest of the great foyer. Beyond the entrance, the marble floor led to an extremely wide marble staircase whose steps split halfway up and wound around to meet again in the incredible expanse of the balcony. They could see several hallways branching off the overlook. The children's voices grew loud as they exclaimed or noted things to each other about the mansion from their viewpoint and the entryway. Mr. Today strolled past the staircase. "We'll visit up there in a moment," he said. Instead, he led the children behind the staircase to the hallway and showed them past several doored classrooms and back to the mansion, to the kitchen, the size of 6 quill houses put together. A long counter bar off to the left sat on a long counter bar off to the left. There sat a dozen or 15 older teenagers, all laughing and snacking on popcorn and soda, as a brilliant pink ball of fluff with webbed feet did a dance for them along the countertop. Some of the people sitting around turned to look curiously at the children standing with Mr. Today. A few waved hello. Alex recognized one just barely, remembering her as one of last year's unwanteds. How strange, he thought, and his mind began to run. "How many unwanteds live here, actually?" he said. Mr. Today hummed, tapping his lips with his forefinger. "Perhaps 500. I lost count years ago." 500? Megan said. "Where is everyone?" "Oh, they're around here and there," he said. "Some are in evening classes, some are practicing art, some are relaxing in the lounge, some are in their rooms. You saw a few of them strolling around the lawn, didn't you?" Lonnie tapped Mr. Today's shoulder, which made them chuckle and give her the utmost attention. "Mr. Today," she said somberly, "did all the unwanteds over the years decide not to be eliminated? Are they all here?" Megan gave Alex a wildish sort of look and gripped his arm, and he remembered that she had an older brother who had been eliminated 5 years ago. Alex nodded sharply, knowing that Megan seemed speechless to say, and the burning question rushed from his lips before he could stop it. "Yes, Mr. Today. How many years?" His face grew pale as he thought about all the unwanteds that had been purged from Quill since he was a boy. His mind raced trying to remember them, but it was difficult since Quillians had all been instructed to forget them. Mr. Today smiled, but there was a hint of sorrow in his eyes. "Dear people, how could I forget? Yes, all the unwanteds as far back as you can remember are here." He looked at Megan, and his dark eyes danced. "Megan, your brother Sean is so excited to see you. He'd like to meet you in the lounge at 8 o'clock. Megan squealed in shock. "He's here?" She trailed off and gripped Alex's arm so hard it hurt him. "Which reminds me," said Mr. Today, "I'd better show you upstairs so you can get ready." "Where do you suppose the lounge is?" Megan whispered to Alex. Mr. Today, though apparently forgetful in his own age, did not have a hearing problem. He chuckled. "You'll find instructions in your room that will tell you how to take the tube to the lounge, Megan. Never fear." The magician chuckled again and rubbed his hands together, so excited to see the unwanteds feeling a bit more comfortable as the day wore on. "Tube," Megan whispered, softer now, in Alex's ear. Alex shrugged, his eyes widening in wonder. "I have no idea." There were several doors that led from the kitchen. Mr. Today pointed at one, and they walked through the huge room and said, "Help yourself to anything in the pantry. Whenever you get hungry for a snack, either by coming down here or ordering up. The official meal times are posted on the blackboard in your rooms." "Snacks whenever you want," said another boy. "Amazing." "Where does everyone sit?" Lonnie asked. "Oh, we always have room. You'll see," he said mysteriously. Mr. Today led them down another hallway and pointed out an enormous dining room, and soon they were back to the entryway and the base of the staircase. Alex saw Cimber had once again risen to his hindquarters. "Marcus," Cimber said in a purr growl, "I believe the young man has arrived." "What excellent timing," Mr. Today said. "Thank you, Sim. Wait here 1 minute for me, children." He went on to the giant door and opened it. On the step sat Smead, his broad shoulders curling over and his chin in his hands. Mr. Today sat next to him, and the two exchanged a few quiet words. Alex leaned down and whispered to Lonnie and Megan, "Where do you suppose the other statue went?" For now, the warrior woman had disappeared. Lonnie giggled. Perhaps she needed a snack from the pantry. "Or a nap," said Megan, who was nearly shivering in anticipation of seeing her brother. Mr. Today and Samid joined the others, and they ascended the magnificent staircase, Samid still wearing a mildly sullen look on his face. Lonnie and several others sent suspicious glances his way. But Samid made no further outburst, and he stayed near the back of the group. The rest of them chattered excitedly, now wondering over things like the statues, the pictures on the walls, the music that floated above their ears. Not really understanding any of it, but liking it all the same. They gathered at the corner of the balcony. "That hallway there," said Mr. Today, pointing to the rightmost wing, "is where the families live. It seems to go on endlessly. And this hall is where for the other adults." He pointed to the expanse of a wall in front of Alex. "This one right here is where the female students live, and you can't see it, therefore you can't enter it. But you can see the one next to it. That's the boys' hall. You girls can't see that, can you?" Megan, Lonnie, and the other girls exchanged surprised looks as Mr. Today continued. "And here we are, a wing for the few creatures who prefer to lounge indoors. Though you might notice creatures in your various halls, some have roaming tendencies," he chuckled at the 20 pairs of eyes. "Mr. Today," someone ventured from the back of the group, "does a giant turtle have a room in the mansion?" "No," replied the man. "Jim prefers to live in the jungle, like many of the creatures. But he's welcome here if he changes his mind, just like they all are." "Don't you ever run out of space for everyone?" "Never," Mr. Today said with a mysterious smile. He then turned to the group and said, "Children, please find your rooms. You'll know which one is yours as you walk through the hallway, because your door will call out a greeting to you when you come near it. Inside, you'll find everything you need to be comfortable. Once you feel quite settled, feel free to roam around the mansion as you will. This is your home now." Most of the children dispersed. The girls watched curiously as some of the boys seemed to disappear straight through the wall, and the boys watched as the girls did the same. Only a few hung back. Alex, Lonnie, Megan, they briefly talked over the plans to meet again before going to find their rooms. Samid hesitated as well. The boy's sullen look had mostly worn off his face now. "Mr. Today, you missed one. Where does this hallway lead?" he asked. Mr. Today looked to where the boy was pointing and then regarded him carefully. He said, scratching his electric hair. He wore a strange, curious smile on his face. "I'm surprised you can see it, Samid." All right, that is the end for today. Have a great day.